Solo Cup.
Sound the alarm, because this is Blurred Alert, a place where we talk toys, TV, movies, and more. And this evening we are talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day. But before we really get into it, let's say hey to the folks in the BA crew. I am Scotty Quippen, aka Stephen Q. Yerkel. And this is hold on, this way. Here we go.
Oh, hey.
BG Brandon
Oh,
Gash, aka Gash Money Records, taking over for the 99 into 2000. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. My lips are a little chapped, but my wife got me this.
Ooh, hold on.
See the Squishmallow
Nope,
little.
That's me.
Little, oh, that's you.
Well,
check this
out.
out.
A little squish.
It's
there you go.
But it doubles as chapstick.
Oh,
wait, did that come out of that cat's butt?
It did.
For those who who aren't in the squish arenas, that is none other than Cam the cat. He's pretty popular. I'd say he is the Hello Kitty of Squishmallows. Is that fair to say? How into Squishmallows are y'all? My daughter.
I don't know anything about Squishmallows. I just know this looks like one of my cats, Squeaky, and I collect everything that looks like my cats, and I got like little cat figurines.
He's got more figurines. Hold on, let me make it bigger. See, because we were talking. The first thing in the lineup of what we talk about is toys, little collectibles.
That's good to know. I need to start buying you cats.
Oh man, I'll love you forever. You just buy me cats.
All right.
They take up little real estate. I just plop them around my work area. This doubles as lip gloss, or not lip gloss. Lip.
It could be lip gloss. Hey, sometimes you just want to look pretty, bro.
Maybe I want a little. Yeah. Maybe
what you know about that? What you know about that?
It's cocoa butter. Represent.
Oh, hey. You got to, man.
So this thing comes in handy, and I was feeling a little chapped. So beyond chat,
I just had to
I'm ready to
too.
talk our experiences with this movie. I love Spider-Man. I'm ready to go.
I love Spider-Man too. And another person who loves Spider-Man, completing the triumvirate that is Blurred Alert. It is none other than Sebastian Gomez of Sebastian Gomez Toys, the lead toy designer at Sneak Attack Toys, aka también conocido como el jefe de juguetes. What's going on, Seb?
You like my focus on the Cheez-It that I was about to eat? I'm good, man. Sure. I loved Spider-Man. My wife was on a trip for work, so I was able to get a couple hours from the grandparents so I could go watch it by myself.
Nice.
Because I told them, I'm like, dude, they're spoiling everything out there. Like, it's not safe. I need to go watch this movie.
Not safe. You needed to go immediately.
And we are going to spoil some things, and I'm sorry for that. I saw Tech is not going to be able to watch because he hasn't seen the movie yet.
Oh, man. That's a bummer. But you did just say it. I do appreciate it. I wanted to make sure I put it out there. Spoiler alert. Alert. Hold on. Let me show this. Spoiler alert. If you have not seen Spider-Man Brand New Day, most people, I think, know to kind of avoid different conversations. There's so much that happened in this movie. So much so that in your theaters, did they play a trailer that basically was the cast please asking people not to spoil the movie?
No,
not mine.
Okay, all right. I saw it opening weekend. Yeah, in ours, it was Zendaya. Zendaya. It was Zendaya and Tom, and I'm trying to think of who played Ned. I forget that actor's name. But all three of them were like, please, let other people enjoy it. A lot of people want to go out and be the, hey, I knew it first, and have all the conversations. We waited a little bit. It's been about 2 weeks since it's been out, right? So I think this is a fair conversation.
Dude, it's made so much money that it feels like it's been out for a month, but it's only been 2 weeks.
It feels like it's about to go on streaming. That's how long it's been out.
Yeah,
everything goes on streaming like in a week.
Did you see what Retro Toy Princess wrote? She wrote.
Hold on.
We got a shout out. We got to holler at peeps.
I know who Zendaya is. She's amazing.
No, but before she wrote, "What's a Spider-Man?"
That's Tom
Well.
Spider-Man, attorney at law. Okay, all right. So before we get too much into it, we do want to say hey to the chat, to the folks who have held us down, our A1s and Stay ones, our BAMs. Those are the BLERD Alert mega fans who have joined us this Monday evening just to chop it up and chat and say hey. So let's scroll up. Always first in the chat, VPG. We got Detroit Dave. We got Accomplish Everything Tube, who made that wonderful opening and ending scene, or sorry, not scene, but the music for BLERD Alert, our theme music.
And can I shout out Accomplish? I did a little podcast with him over last week, and yeah, man, he's a stellar dude, man.
Is it
we had a
live?
good time chopping it up. I don't know where it is.
It's not live yet. He's gonna post it on his website.
I think I'll have to post it.
I forget. I'd have to pull up the chat because he was messaging me about it. He was like, "Yeah, we thought it was gonna be short, and then it ended up being 2 hours." And I said, "Yup, we are yappers." So
yeah. I talk my
be on the lookout for that. For those of you who aren't already subscribed to Accomplish Everything Tube on YouTube, hop on over there, give him a subscribe, watch some of the videos. He put out some fun D&D stuff with a little claw that was reaching up, taking his garbage. Loved that. That was really fun. Don't know who that was, but they did phenomenal acting. We got TNT. They're dynamite. We also got BG. He's there. He's everywhere. Technicolor. He's got to skip tonight. Hasn't seen the movie, as you just said, but still got to shout him out. Johnny P. Disco. Good evening to you as well. Oh, here we go. This is an A1. This is Esther Arriaga. There you go. Whatever R's.
All the R's.
Danny took out of his screen name, Esther made sure to just go ahead
and keep
tack those onto her. I love it. And if you can't roll your R's, I don't know what to tell you. Get good. Ditherian is in the place to be. Allison Troy, Retro Toy Princess. And I think that's... Oh, hey, there he is. Hey, yo, the young hummus among us.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, those are all the folks. Thanks for joining us this evening. If you are part of the replay crew, shout out to you as well. But let's go ahead and get into it. We want to go through a little methodical. We're just having an open conversation about how we felt about it going into it. So actually, before we dive in specifically to Spider-Man Brand New Day, how have we been feeling about the Marvel Cinematic Universe as of late? Right? I know there was a whole big thing at Comic-Con. You could bring that into the conversation if you want. But just in general, before going in to see Brand New Day, what was each of your feelings? Sebastian, I know you're a huge Spider-Man fan. I mean, I know we're all big Spider-Man fans. We had a whole episode about it. But Sebastian, we'll start with you. How are you feeling about MCU? Are you still excited, just as excited as you were way back in Phase 1, Phase 2? What are your thoughts?
I did like what they did for Comic-Con 2026, but I think I've spoken about how I kind of fell off the train right after Endgame.
Okay.
I saw the Disney show, which is when they started pushing them. I saw WandaVision.
Okay.
And then I kind of didn't see much after that outside of the Spidey movie, which was the last one with all the Spideys. What was that called?
No Way Home.
Yeah.
So realistically, I'm not part of the MCU that much, which is funny because a lot of the thumbnails that I see when it comes to people reviewing this movie, they're talking about the MCU itself. They're like, the MCU is back, or is it back? In my mind, I don't really care whether it's back or not. I just like the Spider-Man movies for what they are. And I'm not going to go too much into it, but I do like that this movie was okay for people like myself that are not quite as involved in everything that's going on. You can still kind of go in and see it. But I am excited about the casting of the X-Men kind of new cast. I saw a couple of people that I really enjoyed being cast. And it's just nice to pump some new blood into the MCU. They did a little bit of X-Men, right? They did Black Panther, which was cool. I really enjoyed that actor. I forget his name, but he was very good in the new Alien movie, Romulus.
Let me pull up the actor's name.
Yeah, if you can come up with his name.
And The Long Walk too.
Yep, David Johnson.
What was
David
The Long Walk
Johnson.
about?
Yeah,
That was based on Stephen King book or short story,
Ooh.
and it's like a long walk. It's pretty good.
I'm gonna have
I
to
ain't
check
gonna
it
lie,
out.
you should check it out. It's on
Cool.
HBO Max.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I am. I'm curious to see what Doomsday is gonna be. I have absolutely no idea what it's gonna be. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. All right. BG, where are you at with the Marvel
You know
Cinematic
what?
Universe?
I realized that the last MCU proper movie in theaters that I saw was Deadpool Wolverine. Like,
Okay.
it's been that long.
Did
I
that come
think.
out after Spidey or?
No,
That came out
no,
after
no.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
After, yeah. No Way Home.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
But
didn't watch that one.
It's been a long minute for me to be in theaters excited for an MCU movie.
Yep.
So this was like there'd been other movies that came out, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pass or wait a while for Thunderbolts or what was that one? Brave New World. Passed on that to see that one in
Oh,
theaters.
Brave New World was good. Yeah.
So this one really got me back in theaters, and I'll have to tell you about my theater experience
Okay.
because it was very unique.
All right.
I don't know if it's for everybody, but it was unique.
We will definitely get into that. So you touched on a couple things that I was gonna talk about just in general with how I'm feeling about the MCU. I know as a whole, again, I know a lot of people have already felt like, it hasn't been the same since Endgame, right? But that aside, just throwing that out. One, I love what they've been exploring with the Disney Plus shows, and I love what they've been exploring even with the different movies, right? Everything can't just be a rehash of the old, right? Things evolve. So I'm respectful of that. Now, when it comes to movies that I'm going to go see or that I was excited to see in the theater, as a whole, I haven't been excited to see any other movies but the Black Panther movies, the Spider-Man movies, and the Captain America movies. Those have been the three that it's like, okay, all the other stuff aside, I'll catch it maybe on streaming. But the movies that I've wanted to really take in on the big screen have been those three. One, huge Ryan Coogler fan, my favorite director that's out right now. Feel like he can do no wrong. That dude is hot. He's doing his thing. So shout out to Ryan Coogler. Really excited about the direction that they're going with Black Panther 3 and some of the acting choices that have been made, as you referenced. What's his name again? David Johnson. Okay. So excited to see him. Did love him in Romulus. We'll be really excited to see what range he's kind of got with respect to how he performs in Black Panther. But a little bit of a mar on the MCU, I will say, as far as not giving my boy Sam Wilson his due diligence, not giving him the respect that he deserved with his own movie. It legitimately felt like Brave New World was, I kind of like where they were going with the spy thriller, but it felt like they dropped Cap in a Hulk movie. That's just what it felt like to me. You had Red Hulk. You brought back what was the other villain? Was it Brainiac?
No, not Brainiac.
That's Superman. What's the dude with the? Oh my goodness! Now I'm forgetting the villain.
Right when I said Brainiac, that's all I'm thinking now.
That's DC.
Yeah,
right?
I know, that's my bad. The leader.
Leader.
Okay.
Who's the leader?
It's the dude
He's
with
one
the
of
brain.
the main Hulk villains. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you brought in two huge Hulk villains, and then you put in Sam, who didn't have the super serum, going up against Red Hulk. I feel like that was a disservice to Sam, especially on the heels of what I loved in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, which started off as Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I loved that show. I think they touched on some very important topics, and I love how they pivoted and used that to really make Sam, excited or accepting of the mantle of Captain America. I just feel like they could have done a little more with Brave New World, but Brand New Day. Going into it, it was still a Spider-Man movie, so I was excited. I can go either way with Doomsday. I'm not super amped about some of the announcements with Doomsday, about them bringing back RDJ for one. I know alternate universes, cool, that's fine, multiverse. And even them bringing back Chris Evans, I just feel like it would be nice had we, you know, like we have what we have. So I don't feel like one Doomsday is going to ruin anything. Again, it's just going to build on it. But I don't know. It just feels weird to me. It feels like they could have handed the mantle over to somebody else who could have played Doom. That could have been, you know, very exciting. I know there's a lot of fanfare around the announcement. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. So I will reserve judgment there. I'm not going to say yay or boo. I'm just going to say, all right. I have trepidations, but I think they really can do a good job with Doomsday.
I have, like I said, I have no idea what's going on because I try to stay away from these things. But
yeah.
And I don't know in what capacity Chris Evans is gonna come back. So I don't know if people know or I just don't know. But I did watch the Deadpool versus Wolverine movie, and I did feel like bringing him back in that was a little bit of a silly move, in my opinion. Like, you kind of took away the fact that Chris Evans would be coming back, and then you did the whole like flame on thing or whatever.
I mean, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was a moment.
Yeah, I didn't respond well to that movie at all, which is weird. Like, I really enjoyed Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2. I enjoyed it a good amount. But maybe I just wasn't into it, like in the Deadpool Wolverine thing. It just felt too silly for being like for silly's sake. But anyways, so I'm curious to see what they do with Chris Evans in this one, because I did like his rendition of Captain America. Winter Soldier is one of my favorite movies from the MCU.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Are we bearded Cap fans or clean shaven?
I like both, but the beard, I did like the beard.
You like the beard.
And the Get This Man a Shield, like where he was.
You know what it felt like?
Yeah.
It felt like Pirates whenever the stand-up dude that makes the swords, what's his name? Orlando Bloom. Whenever he became like a little bit of a pirate and he looked a little bit more edgy, that's kind of what it felt like to me.
Oh, okay.
Real quick, want to pull up some stuff from the chat. We got Accomplish Everything, Tube saying WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Moon Knight have been my favorite series. I personally loved Ironheart. Shout out to Riri. I loved Ironheart. I loved where they were going there. Love that they, again, spoilers. If you haven't already watched it, spoilers. I love how they brought in Mephisto. That's cool. I don't know how that's going to play into the MCU now. Don't know where they're going. But my daughter and I really loved watching Ironheart. Really even loved her friend. I'm forgetting the name right now. That had done some of the magic. Again, shout out to Cree Summer, who also made an appearance as the friend's mom, knowing how to use some of the magic that Doctor Strange type magic that they were using in Ironheart. Loved that. But also, as Abisai Ford just calling out, you know, I want a War Machine film. They were supposed to be doing what was it?
I think Armor Wars? Like, not Metal Wars, but
Armor Wars.
Armor Wars or something like that.
Let me see. Yeah, let me just double check. Yeah, it was supposed to be Armor Wars.
He was there. Rhodey was at the funeral for Tony at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, he was there.
Yeah. He was there crying.
So he knows.
He was crying.
He was crying. That's all.
But it would have been cool to see Armor Wars, but that's one that made the list of recently, I believe, canceled films. Yeah. But again, it's just, I don't know, rubbing me in a lot of blurs the wrong way. It's rubbing blurs the wrong way. We're not too happy.
Like it.
Is this a first time seeing Abisai 3D in the chat?
Shout out to Abisai. Thanks for joining us this evening.
We're merging. Yeah. We're merging worlds.
Man, coming together.
We are merging worlds. Okay, but back to Spider-Man Brand New Day. So we talked about it. I know you said you avoid a lot of spoilers. You're not too much into the behind the scenes. You don't even want to like dive too deep into do you feel like diving into the comic, the source material also could potentially be spoilery for you, Seb, before going into the movies?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I guess I'm pretty surface level when it comes to being a fan of that kind of media, because I treat the films as their own things. And honestly, like I used to collect comic books. I used to collect Deadpool. I had a whole run of Deadpool, but I have a hard time reading comics. I have a hard time reading, period. But so the IDW Turtles is the only stuff I read. But
Okay.
I think I don't know for how long I've been doing this, maybe at least 5 years. But I literally I block everything that I can see before movies that I really like, especially because the trailers are now like 2 minutes,
Yeah,
2 and 15, and they give everything away. So
absolutely.
I'm literally the dude in the movie theater with my ears plugged and my eyes closed.
Going la, 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 la. No joke. I legitimately when the trailer for Brand New Day dropped, I watched it once, and then I never went back and watched it again.
What did they show in the first trailer? Did they show like any big scenes?
Nothing crazy. And I don't even think they really teased Hulk's big like excitement in the movie. I think they hinted at it, but it wasn't like a fight. You know what I mean?
They showed Banner, and you kind of like knew, okay, well, if you got Banner, I mean, Hulk's got to make an appearance somewhere again because of the weird licensing rights where Hulk isn't going to get his own movie. So any place that Banner shows up, you just got to assume Hulk's going to make an appearance to some degree. But yeah, I went in and I'd honestly forgotten even a lot of the chatter around like which actresses were going to show up, things like that. I know we were talking in the group chat where you had mentioned the young woman who plays Max in Stranger Things. Do you remember her name? That actress'
Sadie
name?
Sink.
Sadie Sink. Thank you. Yes. Sadie Sink. Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, just I forgot the name off the top of my head. Sometimes as we're talking, like names are coming in.
No, I remember. I think that was a huge part of, in my mind, that was part of the marketing push. And I don't know if the secret became such a big thing that I think it did help the movie kind of gain momentum.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But we'll hold off on going too far into who Sadie Sink is. But I do think that you're right. Before, like, if we're talking about the lead up into actually going to go see the movie, I will say I didn't do too much deep diving. She's redheaded. A lot of people theorize there are only so many redheads in Marvel. Is it going to be like a parallel universe MJ or what other characters could have red hair? I think they did a good job. Some people had called it out early once they saw that she was going to be in it. But we will get there in a second.
Can I say something too?
Yeah, go for it.
As boys who love toys, do you guys avoid going down the toy aisle when there's a big movie coming out just to avoid like maybe spoilers in the toy realm, whether it be for Spider-Man, Sadie Sink's character, Hulk, different variants and stuff like that? Do you guys avoid that too?
It's hard for me to avoid it on Geek Dad Life. Because, you know, we talk about the toys that are dropping. Hey, these new toys came out. I remember that Hulk 4 Brand New Day kind of looks a little weirdish. But, oh, yeah, Johnny P. Disco calling it out. Lego. Yes, the Lego, the minifigures on the different sets. Avoid those.
Yep.
I, for the most part, will avoid. I think, actually, that's a good call on that Johnny P. Disco just called out. The Lego minifigs, I think, have spoiled more things for me than just in general the action figures, because I feel like there's more synergy nowadays. Like, we're not going to get a blank situation where, you know, somebody buys the toy's on the pegs, and then you open it up, and oh my goodness, spoiler. I can't think of the last time there's been a big spoiler like that.
I know exactly.
Toys. You do?
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
When the American version of Godzilla was first coming out, they teased it so well not to show you what Godzilla looked in the movie. And this is before we all had YouTube or spoilers enough to where it's like, oh, we have like drones looking over the set. This is what Godzilla is going to look like. But when the toys hit the aisle, people were so pissed off at the design treatment of that Godzilla that it kind of ruined the movie going into it, because it's like, that's Godzilla. It's like a skinny lizardy. I don't like the design.
Are you talking like 1990s Godzilla?
1990s.
Is that the one that was
Godzilla.
like
with Matthew Broderick? Godzilla?
Matthew Broderick. Matthew
That was like the
Broderick one.
rectangular. I really like that design, by the way. But again, I'm
There
not
you
a
go.
I'm not
It
a
worked for
Godzilla
some
purist.
people, but some other diehards for Godzilla, like even my
Oh,
dad,
yeah.
who was a diehard, he was like,
Dude,
it
but
ruins
also
the movie. This stinks.
and I'm assuming those toys were not like import quality toys, right?
I
Like
love
at
those
that time.
toys.
They weren't bad.
Those
weren't bad?
toys were cool. They were like,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, they were around maybe a little bigger than GI Joes, but they had a bunch of vehicles that just
Mhm.
launched missiles again because you're gonna fight Godzilla. Never had the Godzilla, but had a bunch of the toys and the vehicles, which were just cool, fun, sort of militaristic toys to have at the time.
Yeah.
So that's where my fondness for the movie, that and also the Brain Stew featuring Godzilla. That Green Day remix. I can't listen to the normal version anymore. Like, not since they
I don't know what
have
that is.
one where Godzilla is screaming on it as part of the music, and then you have the orchestral, I don't know, just all the strings. The Godzilla version of Brain Stew, and then also Jamiroquai's Deeper Underground. That is that's a banger soundtrack. I digress.
All right. It's
Sorry,
not
you
a
brought up
bad
Godzilla.
movie.
Yeah,
It's a good.
we
it's
should
not
have,
bad. I
we should have
actually
an
do love
episode
that
on
movie.
Jamiroquai. They're awesome.
Young Hungus Among Us is saying my favorite was when the rights went back to Japan and American Godzilla was just called Zilla and was killed immediately.
He was in that film. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Lit up.
Oh, good shout out. Good shout out. Mask of the Phantasm was spoiled by toys too. So
good point.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. The TV show cartoon for that Godzilla was dope.
It was. Actually,
it was dope. Okay. All right. But 26 minutes in, we talked about our feeling kind of going into the movies, toys potentially being spoilers. Now we are in the theater. Movie starts. What's the first thing y'all notice? What's the first thing that stands out to you that you remember from your movie viewing experience?
Brandon, you mentioned your theater experience. You want to start with that?
Mine was unique. Okay. So right when I knew tickets were going on sale, I jumped at it. I was like, oh. But Amazon was giving out a deal for like advanced tickets to see the movie earlier, like maybe a couple days or whatever. So I was like,
For Prime members, right?
Say what's that? Yeah, for Prime members. And I was like, by God, I got to get this. I got to get it. I don't want to be spoiled. I'm not going to look at the internet for a week. And it's like coming off of Comic-Con. So it's like, yeah, perfect. I'll have like a week off to just kind of recuperate from the con, but also go see the new Spider-Man movie. And I was sick. All right. Like sick that week. Like bad.
On cred. Yeah.
But I still already pre-ordered these tickets. So I'm going to go.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Me and my wife went and I forgot what I had pre-ordered. I just thought I got the tickets, whatever event, but they were for the 40X 3D version.
Oh, snap. Okay.
And if nobody knows what 40X is, it's literally a roller coaster in a movie.
Yeah,
like it's a rock in your seat with every action. I don't recommend getting snacks. I don't recommend drinks. None of that. I don't recommend having a sniffle because those seats will rock something out of your body like it did me. It was bad,
so
man.
Clear, but you were just clear.
Say what?
You were just super clear by the end of the movie. Everything just came out.
God.
It's just shaking up the phlegm and everything. That sounds crazy.
Round. It was crazy. Yeah. But for the moments that hit the most, like with Hulk, with the beginning web slinging moments,
it was good.
Crazy. It was crazy. I was right there with Spidey, especially in 3D where it's like point of view framing. It was like kind of, I know Amazing Spider-Man 2 kind of had that same put you in the feels of swinging through the city with Spidey, but this kind of went that extra mile to like show you under the mask, show you through the city. And with that 40X, man, I was right there with Spidey. That was the craziest thing I've ever experienced with Spidey.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, definitely. I know going into it, when they do the Marvel opening where it's just the letters that start to come down, and then it shows all the different clips and everything like that. One of the things that really hit me was they were showing, just to remind you in case y'all forgot, Peter's disappearing, right? And so they had all these different cut scenes from the movie that were in the letters as they were zooming in like they usually do, and then they were just slowly, fading out Peter. And I was like, whoa, okay, all right, this is getting me in the mindset. I'm already getting kind of moody. And then even the music and the opening sequence of him, like you were mentioning, saving people, swinging here and there, but then you could also kind of see it wearing on him, weighing him down, kind of that. What I would liken it to is it reminded me a lot of making that transition in my 20s from, oh yeah, we're going to live forever type, you're all over the place doing whatever, into the, oh, whoa, like, I am mortal. I do need to, settle into a career, take care of a family. Like, what am I going to do here? I'm graduating college now. I got to find a job. Like, so even the music, some of the musical choices that they went with reminded me of that. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not millennial rock. I don't know. I guess a little bit of millennial rock, but it was like alternative music that kind of, little bit grungy, but it's not grunge. I know it's not grunge.
Mhm.
I can't think of the musical genre right now. But some of the musical choices I do think were on point. And so it really just kind of set the tone and got me into the mood for, okay, it feels like a different Spider-Man versus the music that from used for the intros for a lot of other movies, where Spider-Man very brightly colored, very hopeful, very soaring, sweeping symphonies where you're like, yes, it's brighter, it's happier. This one definitely started a little more grungy, a little more realistic, a little more of the day-to-day hassles of being Spider-Man. And I think that was a really good opening. It was a really strong opening to get me in the mood for, watching the rest of it.
Emo
Sebastian.
Spidey.
Yeah, there was nothing really took me out of it. Nothing really distracted me in a way that it took me out. I love the color grading. The editing was nice. I have to say that Tom Holland looked great. Like he was like physical Spider-Man, you could tell that he had like aged a little bit, and he put on some masks to try and my wife mentioned that she heard in an interview that they were really trying to age him up for this movie. Like they're done with the teenager kind of Spider-Man thing. So I enjoyed that. And then those shots, like the first person shots, the shots where they basically look like comic book covers, those were really cool too.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? So I'm gonna add a little bit through the discussion, but it did feel, and this I didn't get this from the beginning, but I got it from the movie. There was a couple of nods to the video games,
Absolutely.
the Insomniac video games that I liked, and they were subtle, but I feel like they picked the right amount of things. And also, so the last movie ended with basically this guy being forgotten, right? So they could have gone, I guess, more than two ways, but one way it could have been this way where he's like depressed and he's still trying to work through it, or they could have just like ignored it and kind of started the movie again like, oh no, they found a way to remember him, we're gonna do the same thing. But I like that they went the route of like he's struggling, he's going through all of this, kind of like the Dark Knight Rises. Is that was it the Dark Knight Rises where he's out of commission for a while?
Yeah, the last one of the Nolan.
Right. But I feel like they did a better job in this one because he was still in it. Like he hasn't just like given up. You know what I mean? He's still trying. But yeah, like in the beginning, they had me right away. It was the closest that I had felt to a real life action movie, like a Spidey movie, to the feeling that I get with the Spider-Verse movies. Like the closest thing to like, okay, emotionally I'm invested. So yeah.
I also like that Spidey disappeared into being Spider-Man to cope with his own trauma. Because sometimes I do that with art, and other things, like you disappear into your work, or you're just like, man, I'm dealing with this. but I can't put this forward because that's just going to cripple me. So I'm just going to get into the life of working, or just like, I'm just going to dive into this because this is a better distraction than to dealing with my problems. And that bites Spidey on the butt the whole time throughout the whole movie. And I like what they did with it.
Yeah, I will say, leading into it, so you mentioned the different homages to Insomniac. I also appreciated all the different homages to the comic book covers, which swinging. It was very nerdy moments with my daughter of, ooh, I recognize that one. And ooh, did you see that? Did you catch that? Did you? Yeah, so that was really fun to do with my wife and daughter for just those iconic Spider-Man comic covers that even if you didn't see it coming, it's like you felt it coming. I will also say lots of, we mentioned Insomniac, the video game reference. I will say, before we even went into it, looking at the movie poster, where it was just the Spider-Man face with Zendaya as MJ in the reflection, that gave me early 2000s like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man vibes. Even just the color grading of the background being a little more orangey, and with having him on the side of a building, that I was like, oh, okay, well that definitely feels like, I wonder how that's going to play a role into what they like, the storytelling that takes place during the movie. And it definitely played a factor into some of the development that Peter underwent. But before we go into the transformations, first big fight tank scene, what were we thinking as we were watching that particular portion? So it's after the montage. Now we're into there's somebody stole a tank and they're going through the city. And then you get your first big reveal, which was kind of spoiled in the trailer. I mean, you knew it was coming, but you had Punisher in New York. It was kind of cool seeing a lot of the street level heroes kind of band together. Thoughts, Sebastian?
Well, I haven't seen the new Disney Punisher stuff, so I've heard it's really good. But
okay,
I feel like it was good for me to not see that, because he was a nice surprise in the movie, and I did like what they did with him, because he feels like a regular dude that just wants to do the right thing, but maybe doesn't do it the right way. And the dynamic that he has with Spidey is really fun. So, and that also felt like the intro to a video game, like that linear kind of like just battle that gets you in the game. And the specific thing that I mentioned to the video game was that little app that Ned made that tells you where Spidey is. That's a really cool thing. But I did like what they did with it. I like the humor, that it wasn't heavy-handed, and it fit well within the action. But yeah.
BG, how'd you feel seeing Punisher on the big screen? This is John Barenthal's first appearance as Punisher on the big screen, right?
Is it really?
I can't think of if he was in any other movie
I think you're right.
as Punisher.
Oh wow, that's a big thing.
I think that is a big deal. And I did see the Punisher TV special, TV movie, and that was great. I love the development on that. I was left a little wanting after that, so to get him in Spidey was great, but it didn't really continue that story after that movie. But there were little hints within the dialogue to be like, oh, I saved you from this, or I helped you out with that, so you got to help me with this. And I'm like, I want to see that movie. I want to see what are you guys talking about?
What happened there?
Saved him in the Bronx? Like, what?
Web short or something.
I want to see it. But now, John Bernthal is awesome as the Punisher, and even throughout the movie, he was in way more than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah,
to be completely
I thought it was going to be just a quick little cameo. Okay, we get it. And then like he's about to curse, and then they stop like that. Yeah. I thought that was just kind of okay. That's fun. Didn't expect to see.
We can't have him in the movie. He's going to talk way too blue, but he was actually in this movie a lot longer than I thought, and gave a lot of good points to the duality of being in the job so long, where you're like you're lost in it. You know what I mean? Like this is all your loneliness is the job. more than it is to save people. And he even was giving off to Peter like older brother vibes, which I was like,
he felt a
I
little
like
bit
this.
like Miguel from Across the Spider-Verse. He kind of played that part a little bit.
Yeah, like, hey, don't become broken like me, right?
Yeah.
It's like I dug that kind of journey that Spider-Man had to go down, and the two of them just bouncing off each other. Like, that's why I want to see the other movie in between this movie that was Spider-Man saving Punisher, wherever the hell that happened. Because I'm like, man, these guys really have chemistry on film.
Absolutely. I think they did a really good job kind of rubbing off a little bit on each other, like with so adding Punisher to the storyline is going to give this a darker, grittier, edgier feel, but having Spider-Man juxtaposed to Punisher, like Spider-Man is showing a little bit of levity, from Punisher that we don't necessarily get in his solo endeavors in his show. Right. There are small, brief moments, but not as many as we saw legitimately here in Spider-Man, particularly given, the ending of his idea. Right. That was pretty jovial coming from Punisher, right? even the noises he was making,
that was
crazy. But yeah, didn't expect to see him as much. And then, all right, so swinging through, another thing that I wanted to call out was the fact that Jackie Chan's stunt coordination team was the team who coordinated a lot of the fights, a lot of the stunts in this. So they contributed to your experience, your 4DX experience, BG. But when
we're talking about the first scene, like all those scenes plus this tank scene, every time that tank got hit by anything, even if it was webbing, y'all gotta know, like when there is webbing being shot from the screen, there's like a little jet of air that comes behind my ear, and it's like
it's like Disneyland.
It was crazy.
Crazy. So real quick reference to the 4DX experience. So Young Hummus Among Us said that he accidentally got the tickets for that BS for -0.
Oh man.
And every time Godzilla was on the screen, he was getting tossed around like a rag doll.
I bet those water moments were
was
crazy.
spitting. Yeah, he thinks he got CTE from it. So hopefully he didn't. And then he said an older dude just got up and said,
I'm done with this. I'm too old for this.
That is rough. It sounds fun, but that feels like a young man's game or a young woman's game or young person's game to be in those 40X seats and not feel like
I was sore after. I was a little like,
You just needed a little
stretched like Spidey.
Need a little massage from the wife.
I should have stretched like Spidey. They should put that in the beginning of the movie before you sit down in those chairs. Like, hey, be like me, be a good web slinger and stretch before you sit down in these seats. I would have took that advice because I was sore. I didn't enjoy my snacks because I was like pretty much just holding the lid to the drink like the whole time. It's just like shaking, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But it was a ride. I did enjoy myself for whatever crazy reason, but I need to recuperate after for sure.
Yeah, and then somebody else, Dave is calling out that this is Barenthal and Holland's third film playing like big little bro roles together. So I know there's Pilgrimage, there's Odyssey, and Spider-Man: Brand New Day, where they're all in those three movies together.
And Tom Holland has been open about this being one of the films where he feels like he can now call his own shots and having like some say over where the story goes. And I feel like it shows, and hopefully this is like a new way of the movies moving forward. And also he's talked, not to jump over stuff, but he's talked about having a set plan or an idea of a plan moving forward for like who's going to be Spidey after he's done and stuff. So I feel like this is a good time for him to be like, all right, I've done what I've done with the character. I want to do a little bit more, but I also want to plan like my exit strategy. And it seems like he loves the character and he understands it. So yeah, it's definitely a good place to be in as a Spidey fan.
You
We
know
know
what's
what
pretty
we
cool
want.
about that dynamic of this being the first movie where he feels like he can call the shots and he's trying to, and he's really like maturing. Not only is Peter Parker maturing on screen, but he's maturing as an actor as far as his creative inputs. The voice of Evie, which was the AI voice in Spider-Man's suit, was Naomi Watts. And Naomi Watts is an actress who Tom Holland really credits with teaching him how to conduct himself as an actor professionally while on set. So that's just kind of a beautiful symmetry with the journey that Tom Holland's been on, the journey that Peter Parker is being portrayed as being on during this movie. And it's just cool to like really see that he's pulling back to people who he's felt have been influential and getting them into the different roles.
It was that big disaster movie, right?
Yeah, it was,
yeah,
like
it was the
Blood
Impossible
movie.
Yeah,
that was a good movie.
Played his mom. Yeah, that was a good one.
Hey,
and I think I know that with Tom Holland, he actually does listen to the fan base.
Sure.
And I heard him speculate on maybe bringing Miles Morales into this universe and him being like that guiding light for our new Spidey.
To me, it didn't even seem like speculation. He like straight up said, like, again, I don't know how much he can pull from that, but he said when my Peter's done, like it's Miles's time, which kind of checks out because I heard, and you know, this, I don't know about this, but I heard that Sony didn't, either Sony or Marvel, one of them, didn't want Miles to be touched until the trilogy for the Spider-Verse was done.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. And now, not to jump too much, but the director of this movie, I guess, is doing Naruto next. So
he's doing Naruto. Okay, all right, cool.
So that's gonna take a couple of years. So he's not jumping back on Spidey for a little bit.
Okay,
but yeah.
All right, cool. So, where were we as far as the movie? Okay, all right.
Still
Tank chasing it down.
We're still early on.
Knowing all about everything. Yeah. Tank crashes. Clearly, they're trying to break somebody out of this place, right? You're thinking they're really alluding to the fact that it's the same day that Scorpion's being moved. Which again, that was cool seeing Scorpion there, especially even seeing what a role that Scorpion. I feel like he did the voice for Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, that show that was on Disney Plus, that Spider-Man show.
Really?
So just kind of seeing that synergy of, again, Scorpion getting some shine in the movies was really fun. But okay, cool. Tank crashes. They open up the door, and how did y'all respond to
Granny?
Side?
Yeah, it was like, what are we? What?
Oh, what? Is that mom trying to break out their son? Like that was pretty cool. And then then you start to see, okay, the jumping. Now, knowing some of the rumors of who was going to play who, that kind of clued me in on, okay, all right, I'm connecting the dots. I'm not ruining anything for my wife or for my daughter. I didn't say a word. I'm just watching it. But even knowing who it was supposed to be, I was confused. I will say, I was like, this is a little dark. It almost feels kind of demonic. Like who? Like are they bringing in Mephisto? Like, and I didn't anticipate it. I will say that from just how menacing the presence was, jumping from person to person in that scene. For me, it came across as like really dark. I don't know, Sebastian. It seemed like you were agreeing with my initial.
So I'm pretty casual when it comes to like knowing a lot of the lore behind these things. So like I know Jean Grey. I know she has those capabilities, but I don't know how she does it physically.
Yeah.
So to me, the jumping, like the physicality of it, felt very different, and it did feel a little like Scary Movie-esque. What does this say? I guess I really knew.
He said he immediately knew who it was behind the mind control. He was just surprised at how sinister it came off.
So I was kind of, again, I was in it for the ride. I did watch one review before tonight's episode to kind of rehash the movie, and he mentioned his name is Chris Stuckman. He has a pretty big channel.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But he mentioned that he's going into movies not trying to figure movies out. like he just goes in and he lets the movie kind of take him in the ride, which is what I try to do. So I was experiencing this, but I wasn't thinking too much about it at this point. The character for Sadie Sink had pretty much been spoiled for me, so I didn't think too much about it. But again, harking back to the video games, Brandon, maybe you can be a little bit more specific. But there is a Spidey Insomnia game that has a character, like a hooded character, that you don't know who he or she is for a while.
Hmm.
And I like that too. I like that aspect of like, well, at that point, you didn't even know if it was a person, right? It was just like an entity or something.
Yeah, you didn't know what was going to go on. I didn't know
Right.
if there was going to be some magic component that was going to undo what was
Right.
done with magic, because magic is the reason why everybody forgot Peter, right?
Mhm.
So to introduce this enemy or this entity, I was thinking, oh, well, maybe they're going to try and reverse it because they got to remember him, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know where they were going with it. Technically, I mean, I guessed, but that of course was spoiled by just different conversations and guessing based on
the bad thing about it is that I avoided second trailer, third,
Mhm.
but I still had it spoiled.
Yeah.
That people's speculations were that Sadie Sink was Jean Grey.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
already going into it, I was like, all right, man, sucks that I already know if that is to be true before even the reveal, but she does have those powers to mind control. So I'm like thinking overall, you know, if these people are snapping out of it, being like, what? Oh, hey, I love you, Spidey. I would never do anything to you. It's like, mind control. But it was a darker way of imagining Jean Grey. So I was like, tell me that story. Tell me why is she the villain of this movie?
Yeah.
And that's what kept me in the mix.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Flashing forward a little bit. I know I'm trying to think of trying to remember the movie as we're talking. So I know that was the first big one. They're kind of investigating things. Oh, okay. All right. So they end up at the headquarters for
What is it, damage control?
Damage control.
Well,
so our introduction to damage control
Brandon,
was
what's
you
up?
got to talk about small potatoes, little potatoes.
Sure.
Oh, before
Because,
we get to damage control. Okay, all right.
I mean, I don't know anybody in
Yeah.
New York that deals with small potatoes. All right, especially in the MCU scenarios. Like,
That's true.
if something see something, say something, because there's always something going on in that city, whether it be, I don't know, Frank Castle's movie, which was like
Punisher,
complete war zone.
Daredevil.
Yeah, I mean, there's something every week. What is she considering small potatoes?
Yeah,
just
Avengers
like,
Tower.
I guess if there's not
Fantastic
a portal that
Four.
opens up in the sky.
Oh, I'm so glad that there wasn't a portal in this movie.
Yeah,
and also,
dude,
and also just to bring back New York, because I know in the original trilogy they took him abroad a little bit. And nothing against other places, but New York is such a big part of Spidey.
Big part.
And I love that they brought him back and they shot everything so tight. Like this was I was thinking about it today. It was a very small story. I don't know how many actors were there outside of extras. There wasn't many in the original, like in the story itself. There was like less than 10 people, no?
Maybe if you're talking about
the cast, like
cast, like outside of extras.
Yeah,
it felt pretty small.
A good call out. Yeah,
I mean,
it didn't feel too big. It did feel pretty tight, even though, and we can get into this a little later. Does it feel cheating a little bit when different movies kind of have a bunch of different heroes in there instead of just your primary protagonist? I don't know. Some people feel some type of way. Like some people don't count Civil War as a Captain America movie. They feel like that's kind of an Avengers 2.5 almost.
I think I'm one of those people. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but I like smaller stories. Like that's just kind of my thing, anyways.
All right. Fair enough. But yes, Yelena, the small potatoes bit, and I will say that scene is the first scene that I was like, so when he was swinging around in the suit, I was thinking, I feel like there's something about Spider-Man that feels more solid.
Yeah,
like he feels bigger in this movie. And then there was the scene with the small potatoes where and I was like, he's huge. He's huge now. Like, I mean, he's always been Jack, but he's been more like that slender, the leaner, like gymnast build, right? But
Sure.
Yeah.
this was,
He's a brawler.
yeah, like
Yeah.
he got big. And again, that's kind of the visually showing that they're not doing, you know, teenager or even like late teens, early college. Like this is post college, supposed to be like mid to late 20s Peter, because they, at this point, you know, you had the sequence of him watching them and Ned doing all his different posts through all the different years and saying, hey, we graduated and now we're moving back. And so yeah, I mean,
Well, and I
he
don't know
grew
how it
up
is. I don't
and
know how it
filled
was
out.
for. I don't know how it was for you guys, but I grew
Mhm.
my beard from from being depressed after a breakup,
Mhm.
and I didn't want to do anything, so I didn't clean out my face, and then I realized, oh look, I can grow a beard. So he definitely had that like feeling of like just heavier, and he even the way he stood was also like his shoulders were kind of down.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
so I don't know if he made that choice on purpose, but it gave me much like he's not as big as Tom Hardy, but he gave me kind of like Tom Hardy vibes in the way that he's like that he walked around, and I feel like the suit what was it? I saw an interview.
It was a little looser than it usually was.
Well, he
Yeah.
made a mention. Yes, he made a mention that all the other suits had like a 3D printed pattern all over the suit, which made it more
Mhm.
stiff.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
especially for his mouth, it was really hard for him to like show that he was talking. So he had to like really open his mouth. But with this suit, they took all that like pattern out and they just did cloth. So it was much easier for him to like perform naturally with the suit on. And also apparently that lenses thing where you
Yeah.
could see his eye was like a happy coincidence, and they ended up not fixing it in post because they liked that you
Mm.
could kind of see through sometimes. And then they even did that shot where like you could see his eyeball while he was swinging down,
Hmm.
which was really cool.
This is a great call out by Brick. Him being bigger is also going to be a great when we see MCU Miles or Gwen or Silk for contrast.
Silk.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
can we
That's true.
I don't know where in the timeline is, but I do want to mention this. That black young actor that spoke to him in the beginning that had like a, I don't know, 30-45 second
It
interaction with him.
wasn't long when he was possessed
Oh,
by.
oh,
Uh-oh.
oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Anyhow, that
It might be the
interaction,
storm.
I really
Yeah.
love that interaction, and I texted you guys. I'm like, is that Miles? Because
Well, he sounded like the
just like
voice
him.
of Miles in the Insomniac games.
Yep.
Or
That's
even
right.
like Miles in the Sony movies, the animated ones. I was like, dang, are they trying to like trick us? Is that Miles?
Oh
Or
my god, how good would that be though?
that'd be crazy. But
That would be an interesting choice. I didn't think so. I know that the actual voice actor for Miles in the video games looks like the model of Miles in the video game, so I knew that
Mhm.
wasn't him. But
Right.
you're right. There was something about the cadence and the exaggerated swag. Sorry,
Oh,
I had to.
That
it
voice
felt
got me.
but it felt very New York, and also like
Yeah, yeah.
he did the dark thing
Mhm.
really well.
Hmm.
He was whatever he does next. I hope he gets gigs after this because he did
I'm
great
sure it
in
gets
those like
gigs.
45 seconds of fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was something else I was going to bring up because we're still sort of in the middle,
Yeah,
getting through the
early.
middle of the film, but the understanding that Spidey is going through an isolation process.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever felt that way where you're just like, and that might happen after relationships fail,
Mhm.
losses in your family, where you're just like, I'm not dealing
Yeah.
with things normally. I know that, but I just got to keep things tight to the vest. You know what I mean? And that's what I felt with Spidey until those things manifest. Those things actually transform who you are. And that was kind of a cool sequence between him knowing that he needs to break this cycle and go into that party to where he's like, there's nothing I can do about this. Life has gone on without me, whether I like it or not. And now he's emo Spidey
Dude,
transforming.
You mentioned isolation. I feel like I'm going through a little bit of that right now, and not like as a whole like experience, but like
Mm-hmm.
Comic-Con was overwhelming. There was a lot of people that I met, and my world got big really quickly.
Yeah.
So when I came home, I'm like, I need to bring this down a little bit. Like I need to bring it down to like, okay, it's
Mhm.
simpler. Like it's just me
Right.
on my iPad when I work, a couple of friends that I talk to regularly and stuff like that, and then my family, because things can shift pretty quickly, especially if you're doing things that you're not used to. You start to overlook things, or maybe you push past things. You build habits that maybe are not the best for you and things like that. So I've had a couple of conversations with my wife where I'm like, I feel like I'm in a place that I need to kind of simplify it and go back to the thing that got me here in the first place. So I can
Mhm.
relate. I can relate to that kind of, I guess, voluntary isolation in a way to kind of just like get back to the essentials.
Ha-
No,
have
I
you
can definitely
found your
relate to
way back
that.
to a center? Sorry about that, Quip. But
Yeah,
have
yeah.
No,
you
go. No, you're good.
found your
Just
way back to like
just
a center now?
some kind of balance for sure.
Yeah, that's good, man. I like to hear that.
Yeah, that is important. Absolutely. One, recognizing it, but I too definitely can feel in and empathize and sympathize with and relate to where Peter was at. I think I mentioned this earlier with respect to being a 20-something transitioning out of college.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Career wise, where am I at? Like, am I going to be prepared to even step into marriage and make sure I'm providing for my wife? Because at that time we were dating, and I know we had been dating through the last 2 years of my college. And so now that I was graduating, I was like, no, they're like, this is it. All right. Stepping into manhood immediately. Got to find a career, got to be able to
Mhm.
support the family, got to be able to cover a mortgage, grow up, sell my toys because I'm a grown up now. But seriously, having those moments of just sitting there and I won't say existential like terror,
Yeah.
but there is kind of that after you finish your last final, okay, yeah, I did it. And then you're just grinding and you feel like I'm grinding, like is this it, is this all there is there going to be like any sort of fun to continue to be had? Because again, you're double thinking things of, no, I don't want to go out drinking as much because my liver, my health, I need to start working out or continue working out, to make sure I'm maintaining things. And feeling like almost you need to suppress the fun side and go into this more,
Productive.
yeah, productive, like grind, set, rise and grind. You got to hustle in order to make sure you're establishing a good foundation, not only for you but your children and your children's children, like 2 or 3 generations. Like, am I going to be able to establish this for my family? And it feels like when you put away that fun part and you're trying to just focus on work, that, yeah, that's no way to exist. Where you are isolating and some days you're not eating, or I was even like when he was ordering Little Caesars pizza, which, minor criticism, again, Peter Parker living in New York
Yeah,
on a
Caesars,
budget,
bro.
Little
Little
Caesars,
Caesars.
and he's ordering a whole pie, not a couple slices. And
Dude, he's
with the
carbo
DoorDash
loading, dude.
fees, the fact that he's
It's
ordering the
sponsored
pizza
now.
and not just going to go get it. I get it. It's sponsors. I get it's product placement. But that, of all the things, did take me out of it a little bit. I was like, Little Caesars in okay.
I did
All right.
I
I
brushed
did
up against that, and I had another thing. But go ahead, Seb.
no,
Yeah.
BG, if you want to close that out, you can for sure.
No, like what I really loved about the Raimi Spider-Man movies was Peter Parker had a job in New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it
Yeah.
be photography, freelance, thank you very god dog much, or pizza delivery, where he's getting yelled at by everybody. He's delivering
Exactly.
pizzas late. I don't know what this Spider-Man does to afford rent for that very big
Very big.
apartment in New York. All right, where he can have 3D printers and like
They
Other
kind of touched
things
on
go
that
on.
when he was
What did he
looking
do?
for the place. He
What
was
was it?
looking for the place, and well, they didn't touch on his actual job, but they touched on the fact that it was filled with asbestos and nobody ever goes up there and isn't
Alright.
inhabitable. So he kind of made it habitable, and that's how he got it at some sort of super discounted rate. If he even was paying to be there, we don't know what sort of deal he
Come
made out.
on, though.
He could have been a handyman. I don't know. That's a good point, though. They didn't call out what job Peter
That's
Parker
a
had,
big
and
part
was
of
that
Peter Parker.
but was that part of the story though, because he was so focused on being Spider-Man, right? That they wanted to kind of pull away from a job, because in a job you're going to have coworkers, you might be interacting with people, just like you were saying in the Sam Raimi movies, that when he was a pizza man or when he would go to the Daily Bugle and snap pictures of Spider-Man, or he was selling them. We don't know. Hey, maybe Spider-Man, he's pretty smart. Maybe he was a crypto bro, and part of it was
Or
it was a
maybe he
farm
still
up
has
there.
some of that Iron Man money that he left him. Who
Maybe.
knows?
There's that. Do the
Trust.
Avengers get some
Do
sort
they
of
pay
paycheck as like
Royalty checks.
contractors? I don't
loyalty checks?
know.
Blip treks.
That's a fair point though, is what does Peter Parker actually do to be able to afford some of the things? We know some of the tech that he had up there he had inherited from Stark, so maybe he did inherit some money as well. We don't know.
Accomplished everything. Happy does not remember who Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Like, I don't know how that works.
Nobody remembers
that would not work.
Spider-Man as Peter Parker.
Yeah. Nope. And even when you said like, oh, we're introducing other characters, the detective on the NYC PD force, like that's a new character in this.
You're talking
film.
about
That is a new character.
The damage control guy?
No, the lady
woman
from
Oh,
Bear.
she
Bear.
was
Yeah.
she's great.
She's great.
She was great. Where? Yeah, I've
She's
seen
great.
her before in many things, but I
Yeah,
can't
and the
recall.
bear. Yeah,
The bear.
She's
Okay.
stellar.
Yeah.
I liked what they did with the whole like phone call thing. I thought it was really.
Mhm.
I like randomly calling people sometimes, so like I could relate to that.
Now, I
I
will
love their
say one thing
relationship.
worried me, and I put this in the group chat, was he was talking on a phone call and he was doing some sort of New York accent and I was just
Yeah.
like, is he
A
doing a
little
Mad
bit.
Hatter impression? What's happening right now? Like, why does he sound like Mad Hatter? This is weird. And my wife actually pointed out, she was like, I thought it was an acting choice that Tom Holland was doing, and I was like, that's weird. No, don't do that. Just do the voice you've been doing for all the other movies. But my wife, as astute as she is, she pointed out, she was like, Matt, he's disguising his voice because he's on the phone with the detective and he doesn't want her to recognize his voice. And I was like,
Yeah.
thank you
He's
for
like,
that
I'm
explanation.
I'm Batman.
Smart.
Yeah, like it was a little bit of Batman. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't as gritty, but it was just that New York accent. It was bothering me. But then once I realized it was him disguising his voice and it was like almost intentionally bad, I was like, oh, I actually like that. That's pretty funny. I do like how they did that.
So at this point, you mentioned the tech. So is this when we
Mhm.
start messing with the actual webs and like how all of that starts developing?
So we could talk
After the
about that.
party.
Before we talk about
Yeah.
that, I do want to
Oh,
talk
the
about
party.
damage control. The
Yeah,
damage
go
control
for it.
like, portion of. So we're introduced to Tramell Tillman's character. I don't even know the character's name. I forget the character's
Me
name.
neither.
But I was as excited. It's Milchek. It is
Yeah.
Milchek. He's no longer in the basement,
It's
but he's still in a corporate setting.
It's his Audi.
It
Yeah,
literally
it's
is his
Milchek's
Audi. That might be his Audi, bro. Like
And
he's not
it's funny though,
separate.
because again, as soon as they introduced his character, I did not knowing any of the backstory, not watching the trailer, I was just like, yeah, that's Milchek. I don't trust him.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Like it was immediately. So one, casting there was good. Was really
Mhm.
excited to see him and see him doing big things. But that introduction, like where he walks into the building and they're like, take your mask off, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I kind of I see where we're going. This is definitely building towards X-Men, where they were saying, you know, if you're not going to unmask yourself, you're an enemy. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, we're planting seeds here. And just even some of the tech that they were developing that you're looking at, and one, again, when you're young, maybe you're not necessarily thinking about these things, but Peter's really smart. And Peter, I feel like, I don't know what it was, if if him working with damage control, hey, maybe he was getting some royalties there. Maybe he was getting reward money even from the police officer that he was having conversations with and helping solve crimes. We don't know.
Oh God, you're saying he's a narc?
He's a narc.
Well, I mean,
Do
he's
we want-
Spider-Man. He's
Spider-Man
fixing
is a
crimes, he's
narc?
solving crimes. Is that a narc? I feel like you. Anyways,
He's a shill.
He's a
He's a shill
freelancer.
for damage
He is
control.
he's a bounty hunter, effectively.
I
Sure.
don't
He's
like
got
it.
his bear spray.
I don't like it either,
spray.
no.
He's got a mullet underneath the mask, like Bear. Yeah. Anyways, no, he. Anyways, the fact that he was plugging in with them, maybe he was being naive because he felt like, hey, these officers who he's in contact with, or these official government agents, that, you know, because he's so isolated in other areas of his life, maybe he felt like he could still be very trusting, be very optimistic in some areas. But I don't like, it's just seeing what happened with, well, did Spider-Man realize everything that happened with S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I have a
He came in
question.
On the tail end.
I got notes, but go ahead, Seb.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, maybe my question could lead into your notes,
Mhm.
but not to make it too on the nose about current events and where the world is at right now. A lot of things are becoming privatized, right? Including surveillance and all this kinds of stuff. I know, again, in the video game, there's a lot of private entities. You don't really see the police force. You just see like private entities that like have made a business out of keeping people safe. So this felt that same way. Is that a Spider-Man thing from the comics, or is that just a Spider-Man thing like that the movies have kind of taken on and they just kind of keep doing?
Hmm.
I'm not as familiar with the comics, but I do know that different entities had their own private police forces.
So
I'm
is
more
damage
familiar
control
with,
like
go ahead.
a thing from this movie, or is
No,
it
damage
No,
control was
Damage Control
actually
is
in
in
the
the
first
comic.
movie. Damage control was supposed to be how
Really?
they were cleaning up New York. That's who Vulture and Shocker and a lot of those people were working. They were working for damage control.
okay?
And so you see that damage control has now grown from a hey, you know, we're immediately responding to this Avengers level threat that happened in New York, to okay, we're responding to with cleanup, using different technologies in order to, you know, clean up and not rehabilitate,
Yeah,
restore,
kind of rehab
Manage.
a little bit.
Management.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, damage control again. But then now they're turning into, or they're pivoting from a defensive position to an offensive position of, okay, we need to be more active in our pursuit of these superpowered people to prevent the damage from happening.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we were seeing, and a willingness there on the heels of what we were just talking about. How many things have happened in New York? How many times is the Hulk hulked out and jumped around? And yeah, he saved New York, but also the whole initial issue was in New York. Like the Hulk indie movie took place in New York. And there's only so many things that could happen in New York until New Yorkers were like, hey, no, we need some added security. Or maybe not New Yorkers, but the New York government and the United States government decided that they need more security there and they need to take a more proactive response to preventing some of the
What
issues.
were your notes, BG?
I'm just saying, throughout these movies, even far back to Homecoming, where he sees people utilizing the technology for the wrong, even though they brought it in to damage control to be like, hey, you know, this in the hands of the Shocker is a lethal weapon, but for us, you know, we know how to use it and disperse it in the field and whatever.
Yeah.
Spidey sense, man. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't trigger something to you. Like even S.H.I.E.L.D. failed at this. You think that a little department in New York is going to have it well equipped to handle the Shocker's weapons, or the Hand, for instance, or anybody else who has special powers or has special weapons? Like, I just didn't buy it all the way for him to be so naive, especially at this point where we're seeing Spidey a little bit more mature, hopefully, but he still was super, super naive for it to smack him in the face.
So
that easy.
I do like. Go ahead.
I don't know. I just wanted to highlight this.
No, it's funny
that damage control has been in a lot of MCU stuff. All the stuff that Sebastian.
Well, I mean, I mentioned I'm very surface level
fair.
when it comes to a lot of
Fair
stuff.
enough.
But
and I missed it too. So that's not just on you, Sebastian. That's me.
But I do like. I mean, Brandon, what you said was right. He was naive, and thankfully, there was consequences to that, to be naive within the movie. So I feel like a lot of people in this movie messed up, right? Like
Big time.
their whole arc was messing up, and being able to come back. And it was a 2.5 hour movie, but it didn't feel like a 2.5 hour movie. It felt like it had a pretty long run, but it didn't feel long winded at all. But yeah, I did enjoy that character as the damage control guy. I knew there was something going on there, but I didn't quite know what it was. But
so I do want to pull this up from Brick as far as him playing. So he's William Metzger. I missed that. I missed the names that were dropped during it. Huge anti-mutant bigot in Marvel Comics. So definitely, I mean, the person to play. Now, he was keeping it PC. He was being, what's the word I'm looking for? Insidious, duplicitous, and deceitful with how he was coming across, so that it was more, for lack of a better phrase, I don't know, more indicative of, honestly, some stuff that we see in the real world. He was trying to be
diplomatic, right?
Yeah, how people will try and couch what they're saying. They say, "Oh, I'm just asking questions," or "I'm just saying," right? I think it was really indicative of where we're at today in some of our public and political discourses with respect to how he played that William Metzger. So, okay, all right. Thank you for that call out, Brick. I completely missed that.
Yep. Thank you, Brick. He's in the wings. He has all the Spidey knowledge and stuff. We should put him on.
He's a teacher, and he is never off the job. He is constantly imbuing others with knowledge. So shout out to Brick.
Thank you, Brick.
Okay, all right. But sorry, Seb, please continue. Oh, you just took a bite. Was it a Cheez-It? Is it a good Cheez-It?
Was it a Cheez-It?
Okay, all right.
He's munching on the Cheez-It.
So yeah, but I know. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the engagement of with damage control and what he even went in there to talk about VMAX, right?
Oh shit, yeah.
How he kind of responded, how William Metzger responded to the conversation about VMAX. That right there, that moment where he was like, "Huh? What? I don't know what you're talking about." I legitimately thought VMAX was something. I didn't know if there was going to be a precursor to Cerebro, like what was happening. No clue. But at that phase in the game, I was like, okay, now I really want to know what VMAX is. And again, big spoilers. Hold on real quick. Let me check the media assets. I'll look for the banners.
Spoiling this whole episode.
I want to keep putting it up.
We've been pretty good about keeping things kind of vague.
Spoilers. We're kind of bouncing around. We can bounce around a little more instead of being so methodical. I just wanted to try and make sure we didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
But well, actually, do we want to talk VMAX right now, or do we want to talk the big Gene reveal?
Gene.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk Gene just in general.
Gene get revealed? Does Gene get revealed before she hijacks Mary Jane?
Yeah.
And we have that
in
like
the car?
rooftop.
Is the
No,
car?
we have the rooftop moment where it's like, Peter, I missed you. You know what I mean? Like
that scene was.
Does that happen before or after?
I think it happens. I think the audience sees Sadie before, but
Are
Peter
you sure,
has.
bro?
I'm not sure.
I want to say she's revealed in the car after that.
After. Oh, okay. Well, anyways, let's pick one and let's go with that.
Let's just talk about Gene. As far as that big reveal, like when it does happen, what are your responses? How do you feel about how they had portrayed Gene up to that moment? Once you kind of thought, hey, yeah, this is probably her, but they basically reveal that it is. Well, the audience didn't know it was Jean Grey, but they revealed that it was Sadie Sink behind it, so we connected the dots.
Is there any comments that are telling us anything?
Hold on real quick.
Just about your cheese.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Ooh, that's actually a good one. These cheeses are making me thirsty. But no, Johnny P. Disco was saying that he thought VMAX was going to be Venom related. Yeah, because you had, Scorpion was also a host of Venom in the comics. That could have been an interesting approach. Yeah. And then they got Brick with VMAX too. Excellent. Was thrown way off and blown away by the reveal. I agree with that. We'll come back to that. Okay, all right. Yeah, they get her face as she drives away and then run the facial. Okay, all right, cool. So she drove away. So it was after that whole scene where there was kind of a race. There was the hopping. This is after the scene where the young, charismatic black actor who I want to find his name. I found the thing, but I can't.
Yes,
I need to find that.
That was after.
Did a great job.
He's running through the streets to get to Mary Jane and be like, "Look, you got to come with me." Blah 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 blah. And then they do their rooftop scenario, but then
it's Nayi Akin is the actor who plays
Brandon. I think that's correct. I feel like they do this scene. Well, and then she jumps off, doesn't she? Or she falls off?
Yeah, because she's mind controlled.
Right. Hold on real quick. As we're talking mind control, I just actually found something that I wanted to pull up.
We're gonna go in the weeds.
It's a little bit in the weeds, but it's definitely along the lines of some of the stuff that we've shared on BLERD Alert before. With here's the actor holding a Spider-Man toy.
That's awesome.
From the first movie. Look at the toy, bro.
Yeah, like that is cool. So I found the actor's name. It is Nayi Akin. I apologize if I am saying that wrong. But yeah, no, he's got a lot of posts. This is awesome. So just wanted to shout him out real quick as we're talking about people that are possessed. But
I'm gonna give him a follow to see what he does next.
Dreams come true.
Absolutely. Check him out. Okay, all right. But we're talking about are we going into the scene specifically with MJ because they're racing immediately after that scene where the person, after he jumps from that person to a woman, then I believe to an old man, steps back into the street. Whoa, really crazy stuff. That completely threw me off. Once homeboy got hit with a car, Final Destination style, and then
this is a question for you guys. Is she using? Her whole goal is to get to VMAX, so she's using Spidey as just another way to get to VMAX, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty much what's happening. Yeah, okay.
Because he's in good with damage control.
Because he's okay.
She's seen
and as
that
far as she
he's
knows,
kind of a shill for it.
Yeah, that he should know something about VMAX because of how closely he is related to them, and probably who knows whose mind that she did read that was involved with damage control that also could confirm Spidey's presence. There a lot more. I mean, she also knew that he was trying to prevent what was happening, so she could see through their eyes. So no, she definitely knew that he worked with the organization that took her sister away.
Yep.
So,
but the way she did my boy,
she did Peter.
Wow,
rooftop scene.
Wow, it's good to be surprised in these movies because, like, I avoided all the clips, all the other trailers and stuff. So leading into it, I was like, oh my, she remembers. It's like the kiss of like reversal or whatever. I don't know, magic. I don't know, Doctor Strange world. Maybe like she remembers. I don't know. And then for that reveal to be like, oh, Peter, come on, you didn't see this coming. Like,
is
for
he,
real?
Is he struggling? Is he struggling with the Spidey stuff at this point?
Yeah.
I think well, he's wearing. Is he wearing the inhibitor at this point? At that
he
point,
has it, but it's faulty, and he still turns black-eyed Spidey.
Ooh,
because
that's
he's about to
that's
like throw
later
her off the roof.
They deal with it. That's true.
Yeah, so we haven't even touched on that, but that was
not yet. Yeah. But going back to this particular rooftop scene, staying on the rooftop scene just for a second. No, that was a big. Seb, did you fall for it when you were watching? Were you like, yay, she remembers?
Again, like, I don't know if I just turn brain dead when I watch these movies, but I try not to think too much. I'm just like watching it. So they did get me. They got me with the turn. So I guess to answer your question, yes, because if they got me, it means that I was buying into what Zendaya was saying.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, they definitely got me too. They got me, and then when they did it, so I just wanted to call out a couple comments here. So Johnny P. Disco, rooftop scene folded the whole theater. Everyone applauded, falling for it so completely. And it was just, he was happy to see kind of that turn in the theater, and then the same thing. Yeah, it's just perfect moment to see in the theater is what he was saying. I won't say people didn't really.
My theater was quiet.
Yeah, my theater was really quiet too. It was really like contemplative of we're watching.
My theater was clapping, when that happened, they were like, yes,
okay,
yes, okay, yeah, you know, like,
And then
and
boom.
then for that to happen,
or to say, go ahead, hold her, Peter. Like, oh my goodness.
Wait, by the way,
That-
did you feel her dropping on your chair? How does that work?
so it was like a subtle moment. They kind of lured you into like the swinging, and then on the rooftop, it just went kind of still. So there was just the moment of
No, but I'm
bringing
talking about
in the
your
performance.
chair. Your chair.
Yeah, the 40X, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it was just like, just,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to give you the moment, let you kind of go with the actors. They're back and forth. And it's like, Peter? And then people were like, yes, she remembers Mary Jane. Yeah. And then when the reveal happened, like the seat kind of leaned you forward more to the screen so you could take it in. And then it like dropped you back a little bit. So you're like, you're
Damn,
dealing with
dude.
all this pain, man.
That's got to be somebody's job to like set all
Yeah.
that up.
It was
right.
It was messed
They
up.
put you on an emotional roller coaster,
Yeah.
quite literally,
Mhm.
where you were kind of teetering on the precipice, and then they
Yep.
just kind of dropped you. Wow, that
Brutal.
yeah,
Brutal.
that was rough. That was brutal. But again, he still recognized it. And again, shout out. There's been a lot of discourse around his response to that later, because later on, it's sad that we need to educate some people using their favorite superheroes to try and remind them to be decent human beings, right? Like Superman 2025 was trying to encourage people to be decent human beings, and then people just wrote it off of, oh, Superman is too squeaky clean. That's Superman. And so the same with Spider-Man with respect to apologizing to MJ and realizing from a consent perspective that wasn't her. He thought it was her, but he'd still kissed her physically, right? Complete opposite end of the spectrum from Wonder Woman 85. We won't go too far into that. Super problematic with respect to some of the things that happened in that movie. But yes, Spider-Man being a solid dude, and even on the heels of the big reveal, which did y'all see coming? See her finding the letter potentially? I know we're kind of jumping ahead now, where it's like, okay, he was carrying it around too much. And I will say, in the moment, like in the theater, when Punisher was talking to him, Frank was like, "Hey, yeah, you got to get going," because he was at the table doing something. He was like, "Oh yeah," like it was pretty obvious that he had left the note. Like
he had just woken up. He fell asleep with the letter in his hand.
I mean, also, why are you
You know what I
carrying
mean?
that stuff around, bro? Just like move on, dude.
Because
Come
he's
on.
carrying it around because at this point it makes sense, because the whole time he's been back and forth. Do I tell her? Don't I tell her? He went to the party and he was like, "Do I tell her? Don't I tell her?" Right.
Oh, okay. So he
And
was
so
still gonna use okay.
he
And
was still
when I
kind of
say
thinking about how to
move
do it.
on, I don't mean move on from the girl. I mean move on from the letter itself. But like you were saying, he was still, if he did tell her, he was still gonna use that letter.
That's true, because it had been a couple years. Well, maybe he had like fine-tuned it and he felt like it captured it, but
he probably has scribbles in it. Like,
he's a hopeless romantic, man. What can I say?
But I bring up the letter to say that one completely natural reaction. She does not know this man. She is, as far as no, sorry. I was thinking, sorry to that man. I do not know that man from Kiki Palmer. That's how MJ was to Peter. She didn't know him, even though she had read the letter. And then
when did the party happen? Because there was that scene in the party where the boyfriend comes up, and that was also heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was before this. It was when he starts developing the like real spider powers. Yeah. So like when he woke up, he's in the webbing, hanging outside of his apartment.
That was crazy.
Which is crazy. And then he's like, oh, the whole gross moment, like the body horror of all too. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that is gross.
Yeah, we could talk about the webbing. I'm sorry, we didn't circle back to the webbing after the damage control conversation. But webbing, Seb, how did you respond to him actually starting?
I thought it was awesome, and I think he even did the little callback to Homecoming, which
he mentioned Peter number 3. Yeah,
so that was cool. So I like that this dude has been Spider-Man for so long that they found a way to make it feel new again.
Absolutely.
And I feel like they changed in physicality. The fact that he got much bigger fits. Same as the Tobey Maguire, right? Like he got ripped right after that kind of thing.
Transformation.
So I feel like it all kind of worked together instead of just like
Peter
if he was the same little dude as No Way Home, and he's not a little dude. I'll rephrase that. If he wasn't, if he had a different physique, and the webbing thing kind of came out of nowhere, maybe it wouldn't have worked as well. But there was that funny moment where it just kind of like shot out by itself, and it was kind of gross. But yeah.
Yeah, the bubbling out part that
Right.
got
That was
me
gross.
just
right. But it was
That was weird.
perfect for, I guess, this Spidey who's so used to tech. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's so
being
used to
so-
things
mhm.
just working his way because his brain works that way. It's like, I built this thing with, and he talked to Ned about it. You know what I mean? In that scene
Yeah.
where they're all talking about, it's like, oh, how do the shooters work?
Yeah.
How does, oh, it's probably like this titanium steel,
Whatever.
like, and that was really
Polymers.
cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the polymers and all that. It's like he actually broke it down in a way that these two, not friends, but friends, can like relate to it.
And
And that
even
was a beautiful moment.
even when because he didn't know how to swing, right? So he had to relearn how to swing, and then at some point he swung with Zendaya, and in my
Yeah.
mind I'm like, oh, he didn't know how to swing, and now he's swinging pretty good. How does that work? But if you heard him when he was swinging with her, he was voicing to himself like, all right, left, right,
Yep.
left. So
Yeah.
he was kind of like focused on it, which I thought was a nice thing because you weren't gonna believe that he went from nothing to like complete in control that quickly.
Right.
So I thought that was cool too.
I mean, he is Spider-Man, but I do love he went on the rooftop, and it was also the homage to the "Go Web Go," like
Yeah. I was
trying to
expecting
figure
that.
out how it works. I will say though about the transformation, as we're just jumping around and we're talking about different aspects of it. Hold on, see break coming in here. So how cool is it for
Break
Spidey
should
to
have
have
been
a
on the
moment of
show.
grossing out, being freaked out by his own evolving power and bodily changes in a movie that truly kicks off mutants in the MCU? Again, smart
Absolutely.
storytelling.
Absolutely.
I, as a huge fan of the cartoon, the animated series, Spider-Man, one thing that I did know that they were kind of talking about that I did catch from the first glimpse, and this will kind of lead us into the inhibitor conversation, was him talking to Bruce Banner in the trailer about, what happens if your DNA starts to mutate. And I was like, are we getting a man spider? Are we going to see man spider? Whether it's the spider head on the man body and it gets fuzzy, whether it's just going to be all the arms, the 6 arms and the 2 legs. Like, I was like, what are we going to do? Like, what are we going to see? Even if they don't go full tilt, like where that happens to him and he's like rampaging like through the city or something. I was thinking at least a dream sequence, like in the animated series where he had like the human head on the spider body on the web and everything, some sort of incarnation of man spider. And we got nothing. Nada. It was like we bumped into the ceiling after we stole fizzy lifting drinks and they have to now be clean. We got nothing. We got nothing.
I was half expecting it even after the first trailer, because when the eyes went black,
like that's
I'm
the
like,
max we got, is his eyes went black. Okay.
All right.
And he woke up. I mean, they even had him waking up in the natural webbing, like in his under, like, where am I? What's going on? Like, I was expecting it. They were kind of planting those seeds, and then that
because
never came to
also
fruition.
in the animated series, Punisher hunts down Man Spider.
Exactly.
So I'm like,
so you have Spider-Man and Punisher in the animated series.
same
Thank you for that
movie.
callback. And they're now in the movie together. So how's that gonna work?
Yeah,
they didn't explore it.
But surprised that they didn't do that. They didn't reveal that card just yet. But we got other movies, I guess. I mean, we'll have to get to the ending of this movie, but we have to get through a Hulk just to talk about it.
Like,
we have not even touched on Banner.
We haven't touched, so let's talk Banner. So Seb, you wanted to talk about the inhibitors, which we knew what it was kind of leading into, but go ahead. What were your thoughts there when he was talking about, what if we can develop a universal inhibitor if you could modify it? What was your thought?
Well, again, it's all very it's very with the world that we live in right now is just because you can't doesn't mean you should. So it's that kind of thing. I know what he was trying to do, but yeah, I've been my brain is very skeptic right now about big tech, about all these things. So like
Hmm.
I could relate to the movie in a way that was strong, which was good. But obviously, when all of these big concepts came up, I was just like, nope, 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 nope. Like don't
Mhm.
trust all these things. But I thought that there was a right amount of Mark Ruffalo. I think if he would have been there more, it would have been too much. I
Yeah.
think he did what he needed to do, and I did like the Hulk appearance and what they did with it. So I don't know if you guys have any more to add or to develop from that.
With the
Yeah.
Hulk appearance, I have not had my body rocked that hard
My
in a
body.
theater.
Jeez.
I don't think ever. It was extreme, guys.
Oh
that's
my
Like,
funny.
god, I can imagine, dude. Because is that like the ragiest Hulk we've ever gotten?
yes,
Was
yes.
it the
And I was
Ragiest Hulk? Oh, well, you're right. Because there's a
Because
certain point where
he
Peter was
went like
like,
extra level.
I didn't think you
yeah,
could
yeah,
get
yeah.
that big.
Ragnarok,
that's fair.
maybe.
That's
But
fair. Yeah.
this
Well,
was crazy, crazy
yeah,
levels of punches.
I feel like the unmentionable Hulk, the one with Ed Norton. I feel like he was pretty Hulkified in that one.
But
You
I
know?
didn't experience that in 40X.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
I don't know.
maybe he can come back.
Re-release it. Yeah, because he
So-
did have like sonic weapons and he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah. There was a lot going on,
clapping
and
the like
what was it called?
destroyer. That was a good one.
The beast. Anyways, we don't want to go into that, but yeah, you guys, how do you feel about Banner and all that?
So one, I just have to call this out from Young Hummus Among Us. I bet you got Brandon bashed when Hulk
That's
came
funny.
out. I love it.
I
It's
didn't get
good
bashed.
stuff.
It was pretty bad, bro.
But yeah, the best Hulk we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. I know. Yeah. Brick saying so good. Banner's been struggling with suppressing his powers in the MCU from jump. That's true. Love
Mhm.
that in She-Hulk. Shout out She-Hulk. And in Brand New Day, we see how this leads to mutant inhibitors in the MCU in an elegant way. I didn't even make that connection. Good call on the inhibitor that they did introduce that concept in She-Hulk. So I knew, like, as I was watching it, I was thinking, okay, they're inhibitors. No, it's going to lead to the collars, and
Mhm.
I didn't
Dude,
like that.
I think I'm gonna have a hard time watching X-Men movies.
Really?
Okay.
Because of
Well,
Spidey?
emotionally speaking, because of all of this, like outsiders, suppressed government, all this crap,
Mhm.
right? Like
Okay.
I
Yeah.
experienced a little bit of it in this one, and not to jump ship, but like the whole sisterly bond and all that, and someone
Yep.
taking somebody away, like
Mhm.
that's a lot, and I don't know if that's been played with much during the MCU in that regard. Maybe. But yeah, it's
Okay.
the X-Men stuff is gonna be a lot.
The X-Men
I
stuff
mean-
is going to be a lot. I haven't looked too much into casting because again, I'm trying to avoid what happened with Sadie Sink. As far as Jean Grey. I mean, do I assume I've seen maybe something here and there, haven't dug too deep into it. There was even a moment here in Brand New Day where it was during the tank scene, Spider-Man slams up against a bus. It's really quick clip.
Super quick.
But there is a young lady who was sitting on the bus.
Oh
who was
yeah,
wearing
with
like
the
green
white
and white
streak.
shirt with like dark hair with a white streak, and I
Yep.
saw it in a clip, and I was like, "Was that Rogue?"
Yeah.
I haven't like dug on the internet to see.
I get
or
all
anything,
my
but yeah.
information from New Rock Stars. They
Okay.
didn't claim that was Rogue, but
Okay.
come on, let's be
Okay.
real. Like that looked like Rogue.
It looked like
Especially,
Rogue.
like-
She had a big
like
white streak in her
X-Men
hair.
Evolution Rogue.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked like that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we'll have to do another episode where we talk about casting
Mhm.
and stuff. But anyways, yeah.
But yeah, I'll be excited to see where they go. I just, for one, the only thing I ask of this X-Men movie when they do it is just leave Wolverine out of it. You don't need Wolverine immediately. Maybe you have him as an end credit scene. I'm sick of X-Men being Wolverine and friends. I love what X-97 has done with putting some respect on my boy Scott, aka Slim Summers, as Cyclops. You know what I'm saying? Like, just come on.
Well, officially they did cast.
Leader.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They cast a Cyclops for going forward.
Cool.
Recently.
I'm excited about it. Don't need to know who it is. I'm going in, and whoever's on
I
the
love
screen
how Quip
is
is
Cyclops.
gonna be. Quip is gonna not know for like 4 years.
But this is a good thing. Sometimes you don't. Here's the thing: like when we were at Comic-Con, they dropped the Sideshow collectibles X-Men from Doomsday. So it's like if you had no knowledge of X-Men being in that movie, even though the first trailer for this movie kind of showed it, now you have full views of the suits and Magneto and
that's crazy. Yep.
Beast. And it's like, here we go. Here's a spoiler. So if you're going forward from here until then in December, I think, don't watch anything. Don't look at
don't go to Comic-Con. Don't hang out with friends
anywhere. Just
that's a we were just talking about earlier in the episode though, toy spoilers, and you just said it.
Spoiler.
It's not a spoiler from knowing that they're in the movie, but you're getting a full blown, and we know the accuracy coming from those Hot Toys or from those sculpture makers. So it's zeroing in from Sideshow. Yeah. That's fair. On kind of ruining what could have been like a big reveal again, like because you have the original series where it said, what were you expecting, spandex, and then you have X-Men 97 with the callback with Cyclops saying, what were you expecting, black leather. And so the fact that they kind of married those two styles, where it is more tactical, leathery, but it feels like some of the other super suits that are currently in the MCU. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'm a big Cyclops fan, so we'll see where it goes. I'm also a Beast fan, but circling back to Hulk, I do want to call out that before we switch topics, because I know we jump around and we're at an hour and 40. We didn't think we'd have enough time to talk about this.
We had this much.
We got a speed run to the ending. Yeah. So best Hulk we've had in a long time is what accomplished everything he's saying, but I will say he was good in Avengers 2. I'll still say my favorite Hulk has been Avengers. What's your secret? The secret is I'm always angry. Yeah. Like that Hulk was probably my peak Hulk. Before I feel like they nerfed him for some other, more highly Omega level mutants to like come in and demonstrate their powers. But I digress. Okay, cool. We're at an hour and 42. We want to circle back. Did we talk about the big V? We haven't talked about the VMAX reveal. Okay, so we just talked about Hulk.
Is the end of it all.
Yeah. So
VMAX
VMAX
starts. BG, go ahead.
I can go with it. Go. I mean, it showed a lot of restraint with Jean Grey not to kill this dude after she pretty much took New York by storm in that vicinity. I don't know how long or how far her reach was, but there was a wall of psychic
Wasn't it
power.
33 feet or something?
It was bigger than 33 feet. At that point, they had said it was some sort of within a certain mile radius.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
It might have even got to like 30 miles. I don't know. I don't remember how big. But it was a really big radius that they were like, what is happening now? Okay.
Enough to freak Frank out to get his biggest gun in his arsenal.
Okay.
Dude, when I saw the 50 cal, I'm like, oh, that is done.
I don't even know what's 50 cal, bro. It was like something otherworldly.
He was bigger.
I don't know what shells
the only
he penetrated through.
I'm not much of a gun guy, but this is gonna be a quick little tidbit. But I used to play Call of Duty back in like early 2000s, so the 50 cal was like a big thing. And I remember watching the first Rambo movie, the new Rambo movie, and they brought that machine out in that movie as well. And it just plowed through people. But it had that same kind of visual look, but it could be just like a souped up MCU version of it.
Yeah.
But whenever someone brings out something like that, you know it's gonna be bad news.
Bad news. Bad news. But it does harken back to kind of a classic Marvel comic cover of Punisher sniping at Spider-Man.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that they're like bringing this back kind of low key. I don't know if you can bring up the cover. It was literally like Spider-Man and Punisher on the same cover, but he's like sniping at him. He has him in like his crosshairs, but without Jean Grey. So I'm like, oh, that's a cool little, tie-in for the ending of the movie, since all of this from the beginning was like, hey, we're giving you comic book treats throughout this whole movie.
He said he doesn't have a girlfriend. Yeah, hold on. Here we go.
You got it? There it is.
Yeah. That's a great call out, BG. Yeah.
That was perfect. So I was like, oh man, they're doing it. And then I had to tell my wife, like, oh, that's in the comic. I was nerding out. I was like, oh, they did that in the comic. She was like, what? They killed Spidey?
You bastard.
Right.
Why would you tell me that?
Why would you tell me that? I love the Punisher.
Oh. Yeah, and they did a couple of really nice shots. They did during all of that stuff in the rooftop. They did the wide shot where they showed her kind of bringing him along, and I love the fact that she was just like in complete power, and also like as a Stranger Things nut, it's kind of fun that like Max became 11 in her Marvel movie.
Right?
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah. And she almost, dare I say, she almost did it better. But
the acting in general?
Like the whole thing was just I mean, granted, Stranger Things is 5 seasons, but I like the fact that that they didn't rely on like Sadie Sink is an attractive actress, so we're gonna showcase all of that. Like they put her like basically in like a hood, and it was all about the trauma. It was all about like her just trying to figure stuff out and trying to like break people until they told her like what the hell this VMAX thing was. And so you guys can help me. Where does VMAX come into it now? Where we're at now?
So
into
VMAX, the way that they revealed it was when she.
No, so I remember it. I remember how it happened, but like where we're at now, how are we in the timeline?
So in the timeline, this is before her superpowers actually make her like
OG, like super powered.
Superpowered before it levels up, before it forces her to kind of her powers to evolve. She is in that room, and they said they're going to do experiments, and she recognizes her sister Scrunchy, so she's putting 2 and 2 together, like my sister's been here. And at this point, Bill or William, I'm forgetting the last name right now, the Tremel Tillman's character functionally had already alluded to the fact that, when she was in there, I've been focusing on, I remember her, seeing a coworker of mine, Sarah, who had recently passed. And as soon as they said that in the movie, I was like, oh snap. So if Sarah passed, Sarah's probably her sister, and she's not gonna be happy about that. And so in the room where she's there, she kind of leans back. She resigns herself to the fact that, okay, I'm trapped in this room. They're triggering the different jumps. And then when she looks up and looks at the vent, she sees that says VMAX, and that the vent is the last thing, that message that her sister sent out to her was the last thing that her sister had seen. And the fact that was VMAX, the fact that she was looking for something and being so hopeful and seeking out, what is VMAX? Is it a program? We were all thinking it's got to be some sort of secret weapon. He's lying about it. And for it to be the vent, for it to turn out to be nothing, as though her sister had died for nothing, right? That they were experimenting on her, and that being the triggering event, that almost, I'm trying to think which made my heart sink more. I'll honestly say I feel like the VMAX moment reveal made my heart sink more than her MJ remembering Peter and then not really remembering Peter, that turning out to be Jean doing mind control. For me, that was more of a heart drop.
To me, to me, 100%. But to me, it wasn't even the VMAX thing. To me, it was the flashbacks of the relationship with the sister and us seeing the sister get taken away. Like that stuff. It's like, because again, it's like, just taking away exceptional people because you believe that you can, and that is crap. You know what I mean? Like, that to me was the hardest part. And again, sibling relationships, that kind of stuff gets at me all the time. So I feel, to me, like the VMAX thing was almost like it had the effect of Into the Spider-Verse, when the dad talks to Miles through the door and he says the right things in order to get him to power up, and he becomes Miles. So to me, like, that realization that she was dead was heavy, but it was almost like, okay, now let's play the game. You know what I mean? Like before, it was like she was kind of like, I kind of know what's going on, but I'm hoping that I'm not right. At least that's what I thought. And then, okay, now we're in it. Now these guys, we all know they're like horrible people. Let's see what can happen.
Brandon, your thoughts? VMAX review.
Yeah, my thing was also with her gaining her special power. Like, he triggered that when he said, like, your sister's sacrifice won't be in vain. You know, and I was like, oh, she's dead. She's dead. Sacrifice? Come on now. Like, they experimented on this mutant enough to where they now can use that power to jump or whatever to trigger her mutation to go even further. And this is all bad news. This is all bad news. And then below this whole level is Spider-Man trying to get into the facility. And he's trying to fight the Foot. But he's also battling himself. Oh, not the Foot. Oh, my bad.
That would have been badass, though. That's a good
right.
Like, that's why franchise. The Foot. But go ahead. Yeah, the hand. Continue.
The hand. Trying to fight the hand. Same thing. We all know what we're talking about.
It's all good.
But like, he's also battling his own mutation as well. He's like trying to keep that under wraps as much as he can until he like has the inhibitor. That thing destroyed by the hand when he's in the fight, and then psychically she's talking to him, and I like how the movie beats at that point in the movie are literally like, he's trying to get to her, she's already right in his mind, she's already like, hey, you can't stop this, whatever you think you're gonna do, I'm right here with this man with knives in his face or glass or whatever. Like, you could try all you want.
Yeah, he's got him like right here.
I will say this.
It was crazy.
It was almost like, so to reference another superhero movie that just recently came out, Supergirl, where there's a moment in Supergirl, again, spoilers, everybody. There's a moment in Supergirl where you think that she's going to spare the life of the big bad, right? You think she is. And me, I'm kind of like, really? After all this? Like, I get it if you're squeaky clean, like Superman, like, okay, they wouldn't do that. But I was like, Supergirl, this whole time, you've kind of been edgy, you've been doing your own thing. You're really going to let this dude just walk away? Or we're going to put him in jail and turn him over to the authorities. But Supergirl did what I feel like should have been done. I get that Metzger, knowing now and realizing now after Brick educated us that he's going to be a huge part of the development of even the anti-mutant sentiment. Okay, I get why he survived. But in the moment, I was like, come on. Like, you're really waiting for Spider-Man to get up there to stop you from doing whatever. And even then, he didn't have to stop you. Like, you could have, like, with all the people who... who she was dropping off of buildings or willing to put in the way, walk into traffic. This is the dude. This is the dude that took your sister, that killed your sister.
You killed my sibling. This is it.
To me, it felt a little bit like the Joker. Like she wasn't crazy like the Joker, but she was definitely just playing with people. And and at that point she was completely out of it. And I don't know
Mhm.
how long. Well, before we get to the Punisher, Spidey doing that crazy spiral web thing that he started just like spiraling, that was amazing.
That was cool.
I love that.
Mhm.
And that was one of those like moments that I'm like, oh hell yeah, like I'm glad I watched it at the movies, because that was just an experience similar
Yeah.
to Cap raising the hammer. Like those kinds of moments are like
Mhm.
core memories that stick. So like that was cool. And then obviously we can probably talk about the shot at this point
Yeah.
and what Peter decided to do with it, which I thought was the right move. I don't know what you guys think.
For Punisher to stop everything that was happening.
Well,
From
and
Punisher's
for Peter to like
to step in front.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that was the right move. And I feel like it was the right move because one, it showed Peter's maturity as far as at the end of No Way Home, when he was about to slam the glider on the Green Goblin, you had Peter 2, I was corrected by Dave earlier, Tobey Maguire literally step in between Peter and Green Goblin to stop it. So I think as there were a lot of nods with the natural web shooting and even the Spidey sense developing during the fight after the inhibitor was broken with the hand, that I think it was a good move and great storytelling. One, nod back to that comic cover. Shout out BG, great call out. And then two, to demonstrate, okay, this is where he's at in his hero's journey of honestly being willing to sacrifice himself for somebody who he empathizes with and who he can truly understand where she was coming from a place of loss because of how much Peter had lost as well. And then you have Frank, who lost, and all three of them have responded to loss in similar ways, but in different ways, in very different ways. And so I think Frank, even not even knowing about the loss, but just knowing, hey, this is a threat that needs to be stopped because of what's happening to everybody else out here. I think Frank made the best call that he could make, given the information that he had, right? And Spidey made the best decision that he could, given all the information that he had. So it was a good call, and that was legitimately, I was thinking, as there have been different interviews or discussions and different rumblings about, okay, Ismail is going to come into this universe or whatever. When he was hit, it's been a while since I've legitimately worried about, a hero actually dying. It's probably been since Endgame. Or not Endgame, but Infinity War, when folks started disappearing and you're like, wait, what?
Blipping out.
Yeah, and then Endgame 2, which with some of the sacrifices that were made, that nope, it's irreversible. There is no going back and like bringing back Black Widow or Tony like that. That just, it is what it is. So it had been a while since I felt like that. And that moment with Punisher and Spidey, that shot at the end of this movie, I will say it felt reminiscent to that moment for me. BG.
Yeah. So with that, before we get the shot from Punisher, like you're saying, reminiscent of things before this movie, I would say for filmmaking, this choice to have a moment, a really silent moment, because like I'm saying, up to this moment, I'm like rocking in my seat, I'm getting all whiplash and all this stuff. But for them to take a beat back, to have a silent moment, kind of reminiscent of the Raimi movies, especially the second one, where Pete has a conversation with Uncle Ben in the car. That never happened. It was just in his mind. It's like in the spiritual realm, all white out, and it's just them having a conversation. It's like great power, responsibility, and Pete, I can't be there. And he's like, I don't want to be Spider-Man anymore. Blah, blah, blah. I'm putting it up. Blah, blah. That same feeling that I got from that movie was right there with Sadie Sink actually in the mind of Spidey talking to Aunt May about like what it is to have this power, what it is to be all of these things, a hero, in her case, kind of a villain, with all these things in the world against you. What do you do with all that? And for it to slow down the movie to a point to where it's like, listen, you have to realize people love you. open yourself up to that, or else you're just going to be alone. You can't go alone on this journey with the things that you have, because you are special. Show the world that, but also bring people in so it actually helps you instead of hurts you, to shoulder all that power. And that was beautiful. I thought it was just beautiful to end it on that. And then you have the shot. And then you have all this other stuff where it's like, oh my God, man, you guys are killing me on this movie. All this emotional, the roller coaster was enough. Now you have all this emotional stuff, crying.
Well, and then you have, and then what? She helped keep him alive, right? That was a thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
She did. I did think that that was a really cool part too, to show that she can use her powers for healing to stop the bleeding, or at least to protect him. Whatever power she had the whole time he was going through surgery, and there, like Frank said, now she was there helping him. And what's interesting also is, I mean, maybe they had a conversation beforehand, but the fact that Frank knew it. Like, was she also talking to Frank while she was preserving Spidey, like checking in, like, hey, how's he doing? That sort of stuff psychically. That makes me really excited to see where they go with Jean.
And I like that line that Frank apologized, and Spidey's like, oh, it's all good or something like that, and Punisher's like, no, this is like the worst from good. Like, this is not good at all. Like, they were doing that thing where, like, no, I'm acknowledging that this is one of the worst things that I've done, and I'm glad that you're. And then they did that beautiful thing, the way they exited out, and that little, like, there's a movie that does a line where it's like, is it Spider-Verse, where it says, like, focus on the hands, not the.
Yeah, that's Spider-Verse, where it's like focus on something, not the hand, because he learned it from his uncle, like slipping out of
right,
or not his uncle. He learned it from Peter, where he's like focus on the hands, not the mouth, or something. It was
something like that. But you guys can elaborate a little bit more. But I really liked what they did at the end with him stepping into the crowd and the crowd being distracted by something else. I thought that was really cool.
And then the one kid that he just pointed out of the where it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like again, it felt a lot like the Spider-Verse movie where Miles gets that store-bought suit from Stan Lee, and Stan Lee says, it'll fit eventually, kind of thing. Yeah. And then he's talking to himself, and he's like, I think he's talking to me. And the guy next to him, he's like, I don't think he's actually talking to you. You know what I mean? I think he's talking to like
everyone. All of us in general. Yeah.
Right. So again, I feel like whoever the writer was or the director, like, it felt like they added just the right amount of stuff from everything in order to make it feel good. But I thought it was a really neat ending. And what do you guys think about that?
I like the ending. I'm excited to see more. I think all in all, it was good. Again, I think it was hilarious, kind of like story arc to have Frank and to show Frank in that light. Like you said, one, he apologized. Again, a superhero movie showing tough guys that tough guys can acknowledge. Because I'll even have that conversation with my daughter when I apologize for something, and she's like, "It's okay, Dad." And I go, "No, it's not okay. Like, you can say I accept your apology, but what I did or how I responded to something was not okay."
Right.
So being very specific about that, being able to apologize and really own your apology when you screw up, that's an important characteristic trait to have. But then showing that this tough guy who had gone through all sorts of things could still be goofy, put on the mask and go, oh, like I can't even remember the noise he was making. It was,
that was hilarious. I got a big clap in my theater.
It was goofy. And to show that, for as much as he can't stand Peter, or not can't stand, but it definitely was that brotherly, like, go away. Or, I'm going to the store and your little brother asks for something and you're like, I'm not getting it. And then you get it. But like, you don't just hand it to him. You chuck it as hard as you can at them, but you're still doing something nice. Like that whole big brother, little brother dynamic was good for both of their characters' development. And I think it's even smart to introduce Punisher on the big screen with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, so that, they did take a lot of that. One, they took like a lot of the Netflix edge off, and so they've kind of kind of rounded off some of the pointy edges of Punisher, which some people might feel some type of way about. But if you want to see him in Disney MCU, or you want to see him in some capacity in the different movie universe that Disney's doing with Marvel, they needed this to be that vehicle to kind of, you know, introduce Punisher. So I think all in all, great story. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. There was this thing where I guess Bernthal's I guess as an actor in almost every show he's done, he says, "Let me tell you something." Did he do that in the Spidey movie or no?
I'm sure
he did, probably.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something, kid. Like, it was something about loss. I feel like he probably said that, "Let me tell you something," because they were talking about, you know, do you think I enjoy this life? Like, I'm like, this isn't living. Like, yeah, I'm surviving, but he's trying to tell Peter, you know, if I had the chance to reestablish a relationship with somebody who I thought I had lost, even if it wasn't the same, it's like he would still jump at it. Those sorts of conversations, I feel like he definitely said that. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. All right.
All right. Well, with episode, we've been on this movie.
Oh, we flowed, bro.
Hours.
It's a great movie. I enjoyed it. There's so much more. I do want to go back, see, just as Brick was saying, you know, I want to go buy a ticket and watch Brand New Day again right now. I have thoroughly enjoyed all of the MCU Spider-Man movies. and I feel like this Spider-Man movie may have even taken the mantle from Cap with respect to establishing. So the Cap movies used to be like kind of the lines of demarcation for phase 1, 2, 3, right? Brand New Day, I feel like Disney phoned that in, unfortunately, for as much as I love Sam Wilson. Sorry, not Brand New Day, sorry. Brave New World. Brave New World, I feel like. Brave New World, Brand New Day, both B and D, my bad. But Captain America, Brave New World, I feel like Disney should have and could have done better there. So I feel like Brand New Day has kind of taken that for, okay, this is kind of breathing new life into it. This is introducing a lot of those concepts that are going to come to fruition with X-Men. Clearly introduced Jean. Did we get any hints? Was that actress Rogue? We don't know. Inhibitor collars absolutely are going to be an aspect. Having William Metzger. So this feels like it's setting up for that next phase, which is going to be huge, which is going even beyond, because we know they've already kind of set the stage for who's showing up from all the different multiverses for Doomsday. But this makes me excited for what potentially can come to be beyond Doomsday.
And to me, the best part about this for a simple man like myself is this movie stands on its own, even if you're not in the whole MCU thing, which I think is a good thing. Because I don't know if I'm back into the MCU because of this movie. I'm back into Spider-Man. Not that I ever left.
Yeah.
But to me, this can live on its own without all of the other stuff. And I feel like if they approach every movie in that way, then we're doing something good. I feel like we need to stop approaching everything like it needs to bleed on to the next thing. Like I mentioned, like a couple of weeks ago, my world got pretty big and I needed it to get small again. Like let's maybe do that. Let's tell smaller stories.
Absolutely, yeah. I will say, leading up to this movie, I did watch all of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. So I had like a reference of like, man, we literally grew up with this kid.
Yep.
Even when you were first introduced to him in Civil War. And that was the first appearance of Tom Holland as Spidey. And it's like, he sold it so well that we went for the whole journey from Homecoming all the way to this movie, and he grew. And even though there was like little things that I kind of brushed up against with Spidey's tech being just like, oh, okay, it's Tony Stark Jr., but this movie really solidified that this is our Spidey. Like he is a very good Spidey and Peter Parker. With some of the things that I'd like to see more of, but I hope that he does in future films, future team ups, what have you. But man, in his hands, this is a damn good Spidey.
And Zendaya is also like Mary Jane at this point. You know, she solidified that.
She owns it.
Yeah.
And I will say, having Jean Grey being such a huge part, and I'll say the primary antagonist. I know Damage Control ended up being the real antagonist, but having her being the primary antagonist for so much of the story makes me hopeful as far as them planting seeds building up to X-Men. Then when we get Black Panther 3, are we gonna see Aurora Monroe? Or are we gonna see Storm and Black Panther? Because we know that she and Black Panther eventually like rule over Wakanda. She becomes the Queen of Wakanda eventually. So
I did not know that.
Monroe?
Spoilers,
okay,
bro.
so
Spoilers.
Well, spoilers to comic books that happened over 50 years ago. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what is to come. I'm not gonna say I'm all in, but I'm definitely, they've got my attention again on the heels of Brand New Day.
Did you guys stay for the after credit?
Yeah, I was confused
with the little. You were confused with the little Spidey sensor thing.
Yeah,
you were confused.
It's a space Spidey. What is that?
Space Spidey.
So I don't know if Coogler has actually said Storm is going to be in Black Panther 3, but I do know the actress who they've announced is going to be in Black Panther or who is going to play Storm. I believe it is.
They haven't announced that yet, have they? They casted Storm.
I believe they have. I thought they alluded to it.
I didn't hear official.
No. Okay. I was thinking I saw something on Straw Hat Goofy's IG where he was specifically.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. But anyways, we're at 2:10. Let's go, bro.
Okay.
It's AI.
So nothing official. I will let it go. But yeah, that end scene, I don't know. It has more questions, but that I feel like is how an end scene should be. I don't think you should have to wait to really see something huge that's going to be in the next movie.
Dude, we should start putting after credit scenes in Blurred Alert.
We should totally do it. But we'll see how we can work that out. But with that, we are going to call it. Everybody, good night. Have a great evening. Take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks for hanging out with us. And shout out to the replay crew. But until next time.
Yes, sir.
We're out. Ciao.